This is probably one of my favorite podcasts so far. It's very funny.
So, dude, over 6 foot tall transgender person walks into the bar.
Like girl to man or man to girl or
man to girl. Like talking full chest hair, beard and everything. The tightest leather skirt I've ever seen in my entire life.
But like a dumpy.
I don't know. I didn't look.
You didn't look?
No.
Why?
The only thing I was curious about is if it was pre-op or post-op.
Why? What are you curious about?
Because I was like, dude, you tucking it up, tucking it back? Like, what's going on? Is there something there? Like, what's going on? Like I said, this was a tight leather skirt.
They might have been throwing it back. Were they throwing it back in the club? Was this a dance club or was this like a bar?
This is a bar.
No floor? Like, no, like dance floor?
I was like...
No, we're all floating, bro.
Yeah.
It's
called the zero grab.
You kidding me? All right, Britt. Your time to shine.
Is it my time? Rock, Chalk, Jayhawk, Natty Champs. Let's go, baby. Don't ever forget it.
All right, I think my
Come on, mine. Right. I have to
no
celebrate.
No one cares about the Jayhawk.
Okay,
Thanks
but
for tuning
I do.
into the OTR podcast. We'll see you next week. That was the most unenthusiastic Rock Chalk Jayhawk I've ever heard in my life.
Oh my God, because you guys didn't join me.
You weren't like, when you commit, you got to commit. Like, it wasn't loud.
I was fully committed. It was loud in my ears.
Well, all right.
Yeah, I'm digging that shirt, actually.
Dude, I bought this because I ran out of stuff to wear on my weekend.
Yeah, you know why? Because you fucking left everything at Stemmer's house. Dude, I've never met somebody who just straight up just drops all his shit and leaves. Like, you fucked around with the computer for like 45 minutes and you were like, all right, guys, I'm gonna get rolling out. And we're like, all right. And then you leave and like 20 seconds goes by and we're like, hey, whose shirt is this? Oh, that's Caleb's. Oh, okay. Whose jacket is this? Oh, that's Caleb's. Whose other pair of shoes are these? Caleb's. Whose socks are these? Caleb's. Like, everything that someone didn't know, like, whose it was, got attributed to being yours.
It was so funny because I was, like, in here yesterday and his dad, like, brought a bag of stuff. I'm like, oh. I was like, oh, yeah, never mind. Because when I left, I was like, if I forget something, I'll figure it out. I'll come get it or whatever. Like I was like, I knew I forgot at least like my hairspray or something.
Yeah. And
I was like, whatever. Like it's fine. I have other hairspray. But then I got a whole bag of clothes back, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, you left an entire other outfit there, and a jacket.
Oh, that was funny. And then then after that we went to Columbus for like a whole ass day. Went to Penn's Mechanical and hung out. And
I saw that.
Got to go to Legoland. That was lit.
Dude, Legoland's dope.
But we have like a whole podcast to talk about now because we have me and Trevor both went to Bowling Green this weekend.
Yeah.
Hung out with our buddy Stem. Shout out Stem for having us up there. And kind of a lit time, but we did it kind of in a good way for the podcast because we didn't really hang out with each other.
Yeah.
So we've got two whole sides of the night to tell.
I straight up thought like you just got lost in Bowling Green.
Well, see, that's
because I didn't see you again.
I never party with this friend group, so they were all like nervous about me. They're like, Stoney called me at like 2. He's like, "Are you okay, man?" I'm like,
yeah. Oh, I didn't give a shit. I was like,
right.
He's out there somewhere. He could be getting it on with somebody. Who knows?
Well, but that was the funny part. They were like, "Are you good?" Or like someone said Stemmer was mad. And he's like,
"Dude,
we're have to go get Caleb." I'm like, "What do you mean?"
I gotta
I'm
tell
an
you
adult.
a funny thing about that too.
I'm like, I'm an adult. I go out almost every weekend, like almost alone sometimes. I'm like, I'm gonna figure it out. Like, if I need something, I have my phone. You know, you can see my Snapchat story.
Dude, your Snapchat story was something else. It was funny.
Oh.
Yeah, Stemmer was mad. Apparently, I don't know why.
He's always mad when he's
because we came back first. Me, Lane, Gad, and Erica all came back at the same time. I lay down on this couch, dead to the world. Like, soon as I hit the couch, I'm asleep. Apparently, Gad and Lane sat in there and talked for a little bit, and, you know, I didn't budge. Well, then Stemmer comes home pissed at something. Stemmer and Stoney come home pissed. And I guess like Stemmer stubbed his toe or something, or cut his toe. So he's mad about that, and just loud as could be in that living room. And I am not waking up. Like, I'm not even slightly moving. And they were like, "You didn't wake up during any of that?" No, not at all. I said, "I slept like a baby. Like, I mean, I slept like I had a back I woke up with a back problem.
That's me when I sleep here.
Yeah, but it wasn't bad. But yeah, I guess they talked the whole time, and he was like mad. And then Stoney left, and then I guess you came in at some point in time.
About 2 or 3. It was 3.
Yeah, because I look over, dude, at 5 a.m. I'm going over to grab a Mountain Dew, which, like I told you guys, apparently if you put liquid IV in a Mountain Dew, you'll make it fizz over like you're doing the baking soda and vinegar experiment back in the day. Because it shot up. Like it went up. I drank that, and I see you just laying there just dead. I was like, Caleb made it back. And
Hell yeah.
I like glanced over in the other room, and I see Lane and them. And like, I don't really have to see. I can hear them both snoring. I'm like, they're alive.
I'm glad it worked out that way, because Lane was like, "Are you sleeping in there or out here?" And I was like, "I don't care. Like, what do you want?" He's like, "I'll sleep in the room." And we put the snorers in the
in the same room
That's
together.
good. It was a good thing.
But yeah, I was like, hey, he made it back. Like, he's alive and well.
Yeah.
And then you got up like nothing happened, just like normal.
That's my one superpower.
Dude, you got John Daly jeans is what you got.
I'm ready to go. I'm not kidding. Like, when I drank every day in the summer, I mean, it was a brag at the time, but it's not a brag. That's sad. But I would wake up on like Saturdays after like going to DTA and blacking out at like 8 a.m. Like, I would just snap back to life. I'm like, I gotta go film a wedding. Like, no alarm, no nothing. Just like, you're alive, partying, dead. You don't remember anything. You're just like, oh, okay, here I am. Let's go. So we started out at, what was that place? Burger something?
Beckett's Burgers.
Beckett's Burgers. Brett, tell me if this isn't funny. The waitress did not think it was funny, but it was hilarious.
Let's see if I laugh.
Okay, so she's getting we're done eating. She's getting our bills and stuff, and she asked Stemmer or someone. She's like, "Do you want a box for that?" And I looked up to her and I said, "I didn't bring my own gloves. Do you have any?"
And crickets.
Well, I don't.
That's so
hold on,
funny.
wait. I don't
That's
get
so
it.
funny.
Gloves.
Like
I didn't
boxing gloves.
Like,
She said, "You want a box for that?" And he said, "I didn't bring any
I didn't
gloves."
say it like
Did
that. I
you?
said like, "No, I didn't bring gloves," or it's like something like that. And she's like, "I'm like, come on, that's hilarious."
It's funny, but like I didn't get it at first.
Dude, the funniest thing though
That's so funny.
was the buffalo call while we're eating.
Oh gosh, yeah, no. So we're like, there's this game you play when you're drinking, and it's called Buffalo. And so if you carry the drink in your dominant hand and someone calls Buffalo, you have to chug your drink.
I know.
Okay, I'm explaining for the viewers, not you.
No, I'm looking at Trevor. He did it to me about 6 times at the cabin.
Yeah, but
Were you drinking at the cabin?
No,
Oh.
I had water.
Oh, okay.
But Stemmer looks at me at dinner, like, we're at dinner, like nobody else gives a fuck. And so I'm drinking, like, I'm just sitting there drinking like a Mountain Dew, and I'm holding it, and he's like, "Buffalo," and I'm like, "Thanks, Stemmer. Give the guy with a drinking problem. Buffalo the guy with a drinking problem," and it was just funny as fuck.
Oh, we were cracking up.
Yeah.
But, dude, I got way too full there. So when we went to the next bar, I'm sitting on that stool, just perched up. And I leaned over to Erica. I said, "Hey, guess who's ready to go to sleep right now?" Like,
I figured you guys would be the first ones home.
yeah, I was like, I don't care if we go to another bar. I don't care if I drink another beer. Like, I'm ready just for a nap right now.
Yeah, and I don't know what it is about Stemmer, but like, whenever we get done at like a eating facility, like we were eating dinner, it always takes him a few minutes to get out of the place after everything's said and done. So me and Ethan and Caitlin, like, we're outside waiting. I'm like, it's cold, and I was like, they're gonna want to go to dock. I know that. I don't really want to. And I was like, you guys want to just, like, I haven't seen any other bars here other than dock at this point in my life. I'm like, you guys want to just go walk around, like, see like the scenes and stuff? And they're like, yeah. And so this is where our stories diverge. But so we walk
in
into
the
this
road, and I took the road less traveled.
You did.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's hear Caleb's take on this, and then we'll hear yours.
Oh yeah, no, mine's way less eventful. I know it for a fact.
Actually, I want like Trevor to like just like say everything that he did first, just because he didn't do anything eventful. Like
All right.
what he was doing while you were doing.
You don't think
all
he had
this.
any fun?
I didn't say
I
that.
definitely had an eventful
Right.
15 minutes, like very eventful 15 minutes.
That's how I describe my sex life.
I think that's how Trevor is just describing his.
No.
Like, we'll give you 20.
All right, we'll let you start with your BGSU experience.
So Beckett's place, like you heard, then we go to Doc's. We're there for all of 13 seconds.
Nuh-uh.
Oh, dude, it was packed, and they said, "Fuck this." So we went to
See, I love pack. Like that's
we went to some other place. I don't remember what it was called.
Tubby's.
Maybe
Tubby's was packed by the end of the night.
because
too.
we ended up at Angry Dave's or something.
Oh yeah, Grumpy Dave's.
Grumpy Dave's.
Yeah.
So that's where we ended up at. But we're at the other place, Tubby's, I think. And I had a couple beers while we were there. We're waiting on a pool table to open up. And this is when like I'm starting to feel tired. Well, Stemmer comes back with a pitcher of beer, and he's playing pool, play a couple games, and Stemmer says to Lane, who is also ready to leave, and so is Gad. All of us have like finished our 2 beers that we ordered. Which Lane, the biggest person out of the group of us, was the only one that got ID'd. I'll say that. That was hilarious. But all of us had quit drinking at this point in time, and we're just waiting. Stemmer goes, "Hey, whenever we finish that pitcher of beer, we'll go." I've never seen 2 people jump out of their stools faster than Lane and Gad did. They leave the ground as they run over that pitcher, and they start just pouring glasses up. And they hand them over to me. They hand one to Erica.
They're giving them out to random ass
Oh,
people.
yeah.
They're like, "Here, you want some beer?"
So finally, there's like just a little bit left in this pitcher, and I see Lane like down a beer, fills it back up, and then downs the rest of it. And then he sits back down on that stool and just stares and waits. I finish mine real quick. Gad finishes his, and so now we're waiting. And Stemmer's like, "Well, now we're gonna finish this pool game." So that pisses Gad off. Gad's like, "You said we were leaving right after this." So finally, we leave. We go across the street to that other place, which horrible like thought process went into like location of this bar. You have to go up these fucking narrow ass high steps. And it's like 20 steps to get up there, but like if you're drunk, that's 7,000. Like you're doing a summit, okay? Which I wasn't drunk, but I'm thinking ahead of like if I was. Like this would be my downfall right here. I'm dead.
Yeah.
I'm standing there up against just inside the front door. I got Erica next to me, right across from me is the bathrooms, and then Lane and Gad are up against the opposite wall facing us. Well, then walks in this, and I'm not shitting you, probably 6'5" in 4-inch heels, transgender, like tight leather skirt.
I can just imagine this group of people seeing a transgender.
Dude, well, I'll tell you right now,
They're
like our
they get
reaction,
scared.
reaction was exactly what would happen if you took 4 random people from Guernsey County and put them there.
Yep.
So, the biggest V-cut shirt I've ever seen, chest hair poking out, lined up beard. They got the boa thing. I've been told it's a boa. It had like feathers, like, you know, kind of like a scarf, but is that what it's called?
Britt has one of those.
Britt,
A boa?
is that what it's called?
Yeah, I got one
Okay.
in my truck.
For your Gatsby.
Yeah.
Okay,
I am
that
Gatsby.
exact thing.
Yeah.
Wearing one of those, walks right in with another person and goes into the female restroom. My eyes immediately went to saucers. My mouth drops open and I look over at Erica and she goes, shut up, don't say anything, shut up. She goes, I saw, and I was like, what the fuck? And I look over at Lane and Gad, who are now smacking the shit out of each other, going, did you just see that? Did you just see that?
It's like a sideshow for people from Guernsey County.
Like, when I tell you this, like, Lane had to look up at this person. And Lane's a big guy. You know that.
He is.
So I was like, what the fuck? And, like, walks into the bar and whatnot. Well, I was already ready to leave. So I said, all right, guys, you guys, like, ready to go? Like, I'll go ask Stemmer for his keys. So I walk over, grab Stemmer's keys, walk downstairs. Lane is the only one that has Uber or Lyft downloaded on his phone. I did not. So he orders an Uber XL, doesn't come. Orders,
Somebody
I
took
think
it. It came. Somebody took it.
No, because they would have to
The
go
Uber.
to Stemmer's house then.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
You could just change it.
No,
Never
you
done
can't-
that?
Not from verbal. It has to be on your phone.
Yeah. That's how they keep people from getting like charged the wrong shit.
Yeah.
And it shows like where the car is in transit too,
Right.
like while you're going, so you can see if like they're trying to take like a
Different
longer route.
experiences.
Yours must not have been an Uber then.
But
So-
we're sitting out there with Lane and them. We're cold and whatnot, out on the street because it's windier and shit. And Lane goes, "You guys aren't gonna like this." And we're like, "What?" He goes, "The car that's coming's a Mitsubishi." I can't even say it right. And he goes, "It only it only seats 3." And Lane goes, "I'm gonna take up 2 of the spots." And we're like, "Okay." So he goes, "You guys might want to get your own." So me and Erica walk in there and we're sitting there waiting. I see this blue little car pull up to pick up Lane and Gad. He goes, "It's a 6-speed." He goes, "It's a big chick that's driving it." He goes, "I don't know if they get paid by the minute or like what goes on," but he goes, "Dude, she didn't drop that out of 3rd gear the whole drive." He goes, "She is banking turns going 45 miles an hour." He said, "She is just won't, just hitting those turns." He goes, "I'm a big guy." He said, "I'm hitting the door hard over and over."
He told me that when I got back, he told me that story, and I was like, in my head, I'm like, Lane, wait a sec. I'm like, from the bar literally to Stemmer's house, it's a straight ass road. I'm like, where did she take you?
Well, dude, when she, those turns that you take to get into Stemmers,
Yeah.
I guess a couple of those are like one ways. So she had to come in a certain way, or else it wouldn't let her, legally she couldn't drive that way. So she's hitting those turns, going fast as shit through there.
Oh man.
And like our guy did the same thing, dude. He went over the speed bumps hard. Like he's rolling in there at 30 mile an hour and just don't. Like we ain't even hitting back tires.
Maybe I have good Uber experiences then. I don't know.
The one we had over there wasn't
Yeah.
bad. Like he was cool.
He was cool. Cool dude. Yeah. So you got home, went to bed.
Yeah.
See, I wish I knew Stemmer and Stoney's side because I guess Stemmer signed some girl's titties.
Yeah, that's what they told me.
I want to see it to believe it.
He
I
said,
believe them.
He said they came up and they were like, "Hey, we heard it's your birthday," and he was like, "Yeah."
Oh,
And
really?
she said, "Well, like, do you want to sign these?" And he was like, "I mean, sure." And he said she already had a Sharpie, and I was like, "Hooer!" Like that's a salute,
Yeah, right.
dude. That's a salute. She's carrying around her own marker and just asking folks.
That's like her like OnlyFans like thing is like at the end of the night she takes a picture of her titties with a bunch of dudes signed it and then a bunch of guys pay for it probably.
I'd have been like, "Sign them. Let me see them." Like. It's my birthday,
Can I
bitch.
sign the areola?
Not that dirty dark skin.
Oh man, that's funny.
Anyway,
So, is that the end of your night?
dude, I went to sleep. Yeah, what do you mean?
All right.
I have
All right.
nothing else.
All right. Well, first off, let's back up a little bit. Also, midpoint. Skylar, do you know Skylar Vance?
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, my guy. He messaged me yesterday. He's like, "Dude, do you have a podcast?" I was like, "Yeah, here it is." He's like, "I just want something to listen to at work while I'm like whatever he's doing."
I think he's the one that just added me on Facebook.
Yeah, probably did. And he was like, he messaged me the next day and was like, "Dude, that podcast is funny as shit." I'm like, "Thanks." Like, I'm glad people actually listen to it. Oh, and speaking of people who actually listen to this podcast,
Yeah, Skylar Vance.
Yeah.
Shout out my guy.
Yeah. Shout out you. But also, I severely underestimated how many people I fucked listen to this podcast. Because I've had multiple messages in the last few weeks that are like, "Oh my gosh, when you told that story on this one," and I'm like, "You listened to that?" I mean, it's funny and it's cool. Like that's why I'm like, I don't ever diss anybody or put anybody down about like any. I don't put them down about sex stories.
No.
But it's just funny. It's just funny. I'm like, dang, like people actually listen to this, and that's like I usually don't start telling those stories till at least 30 minutes in. So I'm like, thank you, viewers, and fellow Eskimo people,
Tunnel buddies.
tunnel buddies. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that one.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway,
It's
my
less
night.
intrusive, I feel like.
No. So first off, let's back up. We're still at the apartment, right?
Yeah.
And right now, I bought these kicks because I wore Hey Dudes down there. So I was like,
And then you left him.
yeah,
But go on.
yeah. I was like, I don't need those. Let me just preface. you want to look good going to the club, right? And I knew I was going to end up at a club because the first time we went up to Stemmers, we went to Docks, and that was it. We went there for like an hour, done, and I was like, that wasn't it. Like, I know there's more to Bowling Green than this. And so I was telling you guys, I was like, dude, I'm going to dress like gangster. Like, I'm going to look good walking into this club. You know, like black jeans, Nikes on my feet. I wore like a button-up camo, like shirt with a jean jacket. And then, pro tip, any of my men listeners, female listeners, it works for you too. It really does. Always wear sunglasses to the club. I'm not kidding. This is the best. Only tip. This is the only tip you need for success at the club. Okay, sunglasses. Now, you don't want to wear real dark Ray-Bans or like literal sunglasses. You got to have something a little lighter. First off, let's preface that you want to be able to see through them because people still want to see your eyes. But sunglasses at club. Pro tip. Do that. This is my first sunglass club experience. Lit. Very lit. So lit I needed sunglasses. But so we started, Beckett Barn, whatever. And then I was sad Stoney didn't come with us. Because that dude, the whole night is sitting there like, bro, I ain't fucked nobody in 5 months. And I'm like, come with me, brother. I was like, I'll show you to the promised land. And
now you were like, start with me, brother.
Yeah, I did. I literally did. I was like, Stoney, if neither of us get girls tonight, we can just cuddle each other. It's cool.
Oh, you're gross.
He's like, all right. I'm like, I'm just kidding. No, he would. But anyway, and so we went out, and then me and Ethan and Caitlin went together. And so Stoney just disappeared. I was like, all right, cool, like sick. So we started out. We went to this place called Howard's. We were gonna go to this other club, but it was closed, or for like a private party or something. And Howard's is like, from what we deduced, is like the high school bar, because it was really dope. Like, it was a cool spot, but there was karaoke night. Like, they were like, everyone was singing bangers together. Like, you had like squeeze through people, room only, but they didn't ID at the door. Like, so like anybody could just go in there.
I didn't get ID'd at any of the bars we went to.
Really?
But also, I'm a bald guy.
No.
I don't feel like there's a whole lot of like bald
High school
Cambridge kids.
Yeah.
Cambridge kids. High school kids. I mean, geez.
Cambridge kids.
I'm thinking of DTA because that's the only like bar that's around here that actually does that.
But anyway, so they didn't ID anyone. Like, there wasn't even anyone sitting there like to check people.
Yeah.
So we went in and we were just singing along, and there were people like standing on the tables, like 8 to 10 people on each table standing singing karaoke.
Oh wow.
But Ethan came like, we're gonna get out of here. And I was like, okay, like, it's an okay bar, but it wasn't great. But people were just like throwing beer bottles on the ground. Like, every about 5 seconds, you just heard ka-ching, king, and I was like, all right, this is dangerous. Like, maybe we shouldn't be here. So we left there, and
Not my new Nikes.
Yeah, well, they were dirty after all that, and we came and met you guys at downtown. That's where you went to downtown where you're playing pool.
Oh yeah, that place.
Yeah. So they were playing pool at downtown. We went there, played some basketball. I never got to play pool, but that was okay. And then we sat there for a little bit. It was kind of a vibe. But the place right beside it, was called Uptown. And for some reason, like, it was like one of the 3 like nightclubs. And Stemmer called it a freshman club. This was just a club. Like, it was everyone. There was a lot of people there, but I could see where Stemmer would not like the club experience, where he could see that as being a younger person thing, right? But I'm sitting there. There's like a line to get in. It's me, Ethan, and Caitlin, and it's still pretty early. It's like 11:30. It's before you left, right, or whatever. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's there's a line to get in. I'm like, this could be cool. And so I get up there, and I'm talking to like the bouncer because we still got like a few spots before you get in. And he's like, "What's up, man?" I'm like, "Oh, not much." I was like, "We just we're from out of town, just kind of going to all the different bars, like checking out the scenes, seeing what's cool, what's not, and everything." He's like, "Dude, that's sick. Like, cool." I was like, "Awesome. Like, whatever." There's like this little window. It's like a ticket booth where they give you a wristband to go in. I showed him my ID. She gives me my wristband. And I start walking up the steps. Ethan pulls his out, shows her, and she's like, "Do you have your Bowling Green ID?" And he's like, "No, like I don't go to school here." she's like, well, you have to have like a Bowling Green ID to get in. And he's like, well, you didn't check that, guys. Me. Like, you didn't check that, guys. And she's like, oh, well, somebody get him. He needs to show his ID. And the bouncer, I was like, we don't have IDs. And the bouncer's like, he's standing right there. So he's like, oh, these guys are cool. Let them go. I was like, huh, cool. He's like, these guys, let them go. But I was like, that's weird. Like I couldn't imagine a bar only letting the college kids. I mean, it's cool. It's a cool concept, but like you're losing out on money.
I could understand like maybe like an age like cap.
Right.
Like you can't let like 30-year-olds in.
Right.
Something like that. Like I could understand
that could be weird. But
yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes 30-year-olds are also college.
Right. So like the ID thing.
Yeah, but you had your time to shine, Brucey. Okay.
What do
right.
you
So I don't
mean?
know if they were
Like,
trying to limit like.
You went and did some other shit. Okay. You should have came when it was prime time.
So I don't know if they were trying to limit like the type of person that went in there, right, or like whatever. But we went in, and I got up there,
And they looked at Ethan and was like,
They were
"Nah."
like,
They were like, "No,
Sir,
fam."
you're 25.
They were like, the kid is wearing black jeans and a jean jacket, sunglasses inside at night.
They were like, that guy, he's young.
Let that guy in. They were like the guy wearing comfortable jeans and a regular
champion
t-shirt
crew neck or whatever he's
champion crew neck. Nah, not him. That's a dad for sure. He's coming up here to look for his daughter.
They
find out
looked
what
at
the fuck's
me and they were
going
like, yeah, he goes to school here. Yeah, definitely.
on. Undergrad. They're like master student.
But so they let us in, and so you go up steps just like yours, and it was dead. Nobody there. Nothing. Like two wide open rooms, dance floor room, bar room. Looked around, I'm like, oh boy. Like it was cool. They had all the lights and stuff going, but there was no people. Like there was a few people hanging out, but that was about it. And so we were like, we'll stay for a minute. You like that?
All right.
Peach something. But so I was like, we'll stay for a minute. Like, we'll see what happens. So we went to the dance floor side and hung out. I'm not lying. Even before anybody was there, this DJ did not miss the entire night. This dude did not miss a song. There was no song that came on. I was like, oh, like I'm waiting on the next one. Every song I sung along to. And I think my music taste is just college kid. Because like everywhere else I go in the world, I'm like, man, these people have shitty taste in music. Not shitty, but I hate it. You know, I'm like, this isn't like, I don't know these songs. This dude played every single song that I love. And I was like, I wanted to find him. I tried finding him because I wanted to like get like a mix off of him to use for something. But I couldn't find him. It was just amazing. He played everything. He played Jack Harlow, First Class. It came out the same night. Are you kidding me? Like that's baller, you know? Like to play a song that just came out and to mix it, like every song mixed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like it flowed into the next song. To have that mixed already, oh, I was so appreciative of that guy. I don't know why, but he was good. And anyway, by the time they were ready to leave, it was probably 30 minutes. So we were there 30 minutes still. A few more people were there, but people were starting to get onto the dance floor at this point. And in my head, I'm like, okay, they're going to leave and go somewhere or meet up with them and go to Doc's. But then I'm like, they're all probably going to leave before me. I'm like, if I want to come back here, there's almost no shot I'm getting back into this place because I don't have a Bowling Green ID. So I was like, I'm going to bite the bullet. I'm going to stay here. Best idea of my life. Not my life, but best idea I made up there for sure. This place, after like an hour, you couldn't walk. Like you had to like squirm. The dance floor's popping. People everywhere. I'm sitting next to like the gangsters on like because I don't know anyone there. Yeah, I didn't know anyone there, so I'm like I'm posted up on the wall with my boys, you know, like me and my sunglass crew. We're sitting on the wall, like just scoping the place out, and so at first it took me a minute. Like I was like, all right, like you don't know anyone here. You're just gonna have to make a move. Like something's got to work, right? And so I'm walking around, and I tried to get in with one group of dudes at first. I was like, okay, like this could be cool. So I bought this dude a whole ass drink because he was like behind me in line. I'm like, what are you getting? Because like it took like 10 minutes to get a drink because the bar guys had to go all the way around. I'm like, what are you drinking, man? Like, I'll buy you something. He's like, oh, I'm drinking this like huge Sunrise tequila thing. I was like, here. He's like, oh, thanks. And he just walked away. I'm like, damn. Like that didn't work. All right, you're welcome, buddy.
Hey, this is why people think you're gay at bars. You're buying other dudes' drinks.
I'm just trying to get in with a crew, you know?
And especially if they're buying like a sunrise tequila thing, gay right there.
No, but so yeah, he just took it and walked away. I'm like, all right.
You only have
Sick.
2 acceptable answers for a straight man. Whiskey or beer.
It wasn't me. He wanted that.
And you don't even get choosy. You're just like
He wanted
whiskey,
that.
beer.
And so
One
I
of the
don't.
two.
I mean, it's what he wanted. He was tall. He was lane sized. Like he was big.
Maybe it was the one.
No, it wasn't. But anyway, it like keeps going. I'm like, all right, like now or never, right? You know. And so I'm like, at this point, I had not approached the dance floor section yet. I was just like, whatever, like scouting out the area, seeing what's going on. I go to the the weird people side, right? So like there's the main dance floor, everybody's banging, you know. Then you go off to the right a little bit, there's like the weird person, like, but they're like hey, we're drunk, but like we ain't, like we're not quite into the party yet thing, you know. So I walk over there, and like this girl starts talking to me, and this is where sunglasses start coming in handy, right? I walk over there, and she's like, oh, your sunglasses are really cool. I'm like, okay, you want to try them on? I gave them to her. And she was a thicker girl. Like, she's not like she's thick. Like, my style thick.
2 C's, 3?
2.5.
Okay.
Like, I was like, you're hot. Like, you know, like, I like thick girls, you know. But then, like, I started dancing beside her, and she smelled weird. I was like, oh, boy. I was like, I got to get my sunglasses back.
Dude, she probably been partying all night, working up a sweat.
No, just weird. Like, not like sweat smell, like ugh. So,
like, what kind of weird? Like,
just like
probably cats and goldfish weird, or like, what are we
there's
talking?
thick girl smell, and then there's thick girl with a K smell, and she's thick girl with a K smell.
Oh, one of them ones that like she probably grabbed a hold of that same shirt that she wore from like 3 days ago.
Maybe.
She was
What's
like,
wrong with that, Trevor?
hold on. She was like, oh, this is that one I wore to the club the other night. That'll work. Throws it back on after it already had like boob sweat and everything else on it. Probably dried up cum. Like,
Ew, where'd you get dried up cum from?
dude, you never know. Hey.
Hey.
Hey, watch
Hey.
yourself. So I was like, all right, like you tried, you know, great, congratulations. Got my sunglasses back. I was like, all right, this is not the section you want to be in right now. Like, you were made for the A-list section, my guy. You know, like hyping myself up. I'm like, you weren't made for the B team, right? Like, this is you. This is your prime. This is where you thrive. Like, I'm talking myself up. I'm
thinking of you having this internal conversation with yourself. You was made for the A-list, but okay, you wasn't made for these C-class bitches over here.
right. You know, like Rudy, like the movie. Like this, I'm sitting there like talking to myself. I'm like, dude, this is you. Like you're. I'm like you're fucking cool. I'm like,
Mercy's time to shine.
like you own a business. You have money. Like you can go do this. Like these are just fucking college kids. Yeah, like you can fucking do this. So I'm like hanging out, and I go back to my original post up spot, and I'm like, all right, next, like, cause it's tight. Like if you want to get into the dance floor, you have to be dancing. And so I saw these guys, like cool looking dudes, go to get drinks. They went and got drinks, and as they were coming back, they like were pushing through everyone. I was like, all right, just follow them. So I like acted like I was with them and just like walked to the middle of the dance floor.
You followed them like you was in a traffic jam and an ambulance just went through. You just hopped in behind that bitch and just followed it the rest of the way.
Yep. I was like, I'm with these. Excuse me. And so I got over to where they were, and they kind of like looked at me for a second. I just turned around and started dancing with other people. And but I'm not kidding. You turn around. Next girl, I like your sunglasses. I'm like, here, take them, and then we'll dance with them for a little bit. But they just weren't like, they were very You
gonna talk about the Netherlands?
Oh, we'll get there.
Okay. Just making sure.
Oh, pardon not. So I get with this first group of girls, and I'm like, all right, like interesting. And the one I gave my sunglasses to was mid, like not ugly, not hot, just mid. I was like, okay, like if this is my night, great, like whatever. And I was dancing, and then I was like, she gave me my sunglasses back, and then like she kind of looked at her friend, not in like kind of a weird way, but not a weird way, but like I think her friend was into me more. And so her friend, like they switched spots, and her friend started dancing like on me, and I was like, ooh, like I was not into her friend. She was not my type.
Dude, dancing on somebody in the bar anyway.
Oh, you wait.
No, I
Oh.
know. It's like, it's cringy.
It is. And I was like, okay. No, this isn't a bar. This is a club.
Still.
This is a whole ass club. Like everybody is dancing on everybody. And this is not like I'm sitting at the bar and there's a couple people dancing over to my right.
Britt, to put this in context, this is a place you'll never find me at.
Yeah.
Like, I will never make my destination that place. That's what I'll say.
But
So it's probably popping. It
was
probably
it
is.
was popping. It was definitely popping. And so that happened. And then I don't know. There was one other girl that like was whatever. But then I tell you what, I don't even remember how this started. It started with the sunglasses. I know that. She said something. She's like, I like your sunglasses. Like, I'm like, oh shit, like this girl's really hot. I was like I got a little nervous inside. I was like, all right. I was like, don't fuck this up. I'm like, this is your chance. And so I'm like, yeah, like you want to try them on. That's the only thing you can say when someone says they like your sunglasses. Like, what else you got? Like, what? Thanks. And then turn around.
Yeah, you used to see him in the morning.
Yeah, right. You want to bring them back to me tomorrow? Or wait, that. But anyway, I'm like, here, like try these on. All right. So we're dancing, and she's like into it, and she won my heart over. And I don't personally think I look like this, but she's like, you kind of look like Jack Harlow, and I was like, oh, I was like, that's literally. I was like, I literally looked at him before I came here.
Hey, Britt, can we get a shot of your face as he's saying
It's just everything.
Jack Harlow right now?
She's
I
like,
was just,
but no, I had my hair in fuckboy mode instead of up mode, you know? So like it was down. So like if I don't do my hair, I can have it kind of down like this, and then it's curly if I don't dry it. So I can look a little bit like a fuckboy if I need to. So I was like, college campus, why not try to be a fuckboy tonight, right? Yeah. And Jack Harlow has a little bit of a fuckboy haircut, but he's hot. Like he's a hot man, you know, like he's confident in himself. He knows what he's doing. So I was like, that's a very good compliment for you. Like you got to secure the bag, you know? So we're dancing, and she's like, you're a little like stiff, like dance. I'm like, I know, I'm white. I literally said that to her. I said, I'm a white dude. Like, what do you mean? I'm like, I don't know how to dance. And but
I always
she
said I'm a white dude from a county you've never
I was like,
heard
I'm
of.
from Ohio. What do you mean? Like, I am literally from Ohio. But she thought it was funny. Like, she laughed at that. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, good job. Like, crisis averted.
yeah, hyping
Crisis
yourself
averted.
up.
And so I was like, you want to go get a drink? She's like, yeah. And so we went over there, and I bought her a drink. And then we went back to the dance floor. And then she had like an accent, but I couldn't tell what it was at first. I was like, I don't know. And I was like, where are you from? You know, like, and she told me Spain, I think. And maybe I heard it wrong.
Spain with the silent S.
No, but she said, I'm from Spain. And I was like, dude, that's like hot. Like, that's really hot, you know? And it doesn't matter. All foreign girls are hot to me. Like, I think they're all so intriguing. But then came to learn she's from the Netherlands. And that's hot too.
So
Like,
I'm going
I-
to interject now real quick.
Yeah.
We made fun of him so much the next day when he's telling us this. When we find out she's really from the Netherlands, not from Spain, he goes, I don't know how I heard Spain. He goes, dude, I swear she was speaking Spanish the whole
She
time.
was.
And I said, this Nordic bitch was out here speaking Spanish.
She was.
I said-
And so I don't know if she was like originally from the Netherlands and then like lived in, I don't know, because all those countries kind of go together over there.
You could just know Spanish.
Well, she started rapping like one of the Spanish verses, like in like like a Justin Bieber song or
It was,
something.
it was probably just fucking Despacito.
No, it wasn't.
That's all
It was
it was.
one of those though, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like, don't fuck. This
Man,
up.
I'm a good fucking detective. It was goddamn Despacito.
It wasn't. It was the
And
It was the newer one.
That's
It was
all
the
she was
newer
doing.
one.
That's all she was doing. She learned it.
Who's calling me? Who in the world?
I don't know.
Mid-story? Dalton? No. Anyway, so I'm like, this is hot. Like, I was like, this is probably the hottest girl like you're gonna ever make out with at any point, if it happens. And so we're sitting there on the dance floor, and just for some reason, we just started making out with each other right in the middle of this dance floor. And it was like, I hate public affection, but then I'm the guy at the bar that's like making out with girls. I'm like, But it was really like, it was 1:30 in the morning. Like, everyone's bumping and grinding on each other at this point. Like if you're not making out, you're doing something wrong, or like you missed out. So we talk a little more. I'm like, so like, you know, like what are you here for? Whatever. She's like, I play soccer. I'm like, stop saying shit that is like making me more attracted to you right now. What?
Trevor, get off your phone.
Oh, he's
I'm trying to see where the Netherlands is near Spain.
Oh,
It's not.
it's
Yeah.
yes, it
Is
is.
it?
Relatively? Like the U.S. is bigger. Like it'd be like from California to here probably. But so I was like, oh, like you play, and then I looked up the soccer. I looked up Bowling Green soccer team because like I'm like I want to follow this bitch. Dude, they've won like 3 state or whatever championships in a row, and I'm like that. That was my night. I made out with a D1 soccer athlete. And
D1
then
or D none?
huh?
D1 or D none?
D none.
D1. You got D1.
D1 or D none. That is a good saying. I like
Speaking
that.
from
You've never
somebody that
heard
went
that?
to, you know, trail. A D7 school.
Oh, D none is trail.
D none it's always been trail. Besides like the
Hey, we're not much better off.
exceptions.
No, but that was so. Yeah, that was my contrast of a night. And then speaking of stairs, like to get out of this place, you had to go down 2 flights of stairs, and they like kicked everyone out at once. So like you're like in a herd of people like maneuvering these steps.
He said it felt like you were like
Yeah.
in a cattle chute.
Yeah.
And you're just getting like shoved along.
Yeah, pretty much. And before that, oh my gosh, so funny. The men's restroom at this place, there's probably 400 people in this bar. There's 5 urinals, and it's in like a 6x6 circle.
Let me guess. No line for the men's restroom.
No line.
Giant line for the
Yes,
women's.
Yes.
I knew it.
But it was so funny. The dude, like it was such a college restroom. I went in there to pee, and it's just a circle of urinals. Like it's not even all on a one wall. It's just a circle of them.
Did you
on 3 walls.
have you ever been to I think it was High State, if I remember right. The stadium like for a football game?
Yeah.
So did you ever see those giant troughs?
Mm.
They're just
Yeah.
one giant
Yeah.
urinal that you're
Those are
supposed to piss
sick.
at.
I love
and you
those.
get like 14 people there.
Yeah.
And nobody's touching elbows at all.
Right.
Like that's exactly what I think of for like a college like club kind of
Dude,
bathroom. It's
would
just
be
that
sick.
giant
That would
trough.
be dope. But anyway, I walk in there and everyone's like, "What's up, boys? How's your night going?" And you're like sitting there peeing, you're like, "Dude, it's going good. It's going good." And then like someone will get done, wash their hands, like, "All right, boys, I'm going back out there. Wish me luck." Someone said that. I'm like, "This is awesome."
Let's be
I'm like,
real. No one's washing their hands in that joint.
No, but
No.
they had they one sink, 7 urinals, and a
Yeah.
6x. Like,
Nobody's washing hands.
but it was sick. Like it was just such a bro moment.
I
was like,
bet you the
Oh.
soap dispenser still has the exact same one that it came with when they first put that bitch
Oh,
up.
But man, and then after we got kicked out of the club, I was like, all right, I got to figure out how I'm getting home. So I pulled up Uber, and it was like searching for Uber. I'm like, this is gonna take a while. I'm like, but there's still a lot of people out here. Like, just hang out. So it's still trying to find me an Uber. I get on Lyft. There's no Lyfts. So I'm like, Uber, just please. Like, I don't care how long it's gonna take. Just get me one. While I'm waiting on an Uber, there's a fight that just breaks out in the middle of the street. And so I'm like, I'm going to start filming shit. I'm like, this is going to be fun. So I film this fight, these people fighting, and then I start talking to these guys. And I cross the road because I kind of want to get closer to the fight. And I get over there, and this black dude starts walking at me. Not like at me, but like towards me. And then he's like talking to me. He's like, dude, where the hose at? And I'm like, do I look like I'm like I know I look like I know where the hose are at, but this is all a front. I don't look like this in real life. So I'm like, I don't know. He's like, man, my girl Miranda, he's like, I'm supposed to go back to her house, but there ain't no hose there. And I was like, dude, you want like, you want to do like an interview? He's like, hell yeah. I'm like, all right. So I pulled my phone out on Snapchat, and I was like, what's up, man? He just as immediately is like, where the hose at? And I'm like, this isn't live. Like, there are no hose like on here, like, you know. And so he's like, he says something else, and it was just so like, if you didn't see that on my Snapchat story, you're gonna have to add me on Snapchat because that's like,
Did we probably
That's where it's
watch
popping.
that Snapchat story 6 times?
it's so
Like
good.
we more
Let me see if I can
specifically,
pull it out.
more specifically, we kept going back to the weave part, which like I don't want to take away from that if you do find it.
Oh, here, yeah, I got.
Do you really?
Where they at? You don't want to go back to my house. Are you on live right now? Don't be
No,
saying
it's not
that.
live. It's not
Don't be
live.
saying that. But hey, what up? What you on her? Where the hoes at?
They're trying to find the hose.
I'm the talk what you need.
Because you are giving the whitest interview right now. They're trying to find the
What
hose.
you mean? Some nigga died.
There was something happened. That's why.
Some nigga died? Damn.
Died?
I don't know, nigga. I don't know what you. I know what you know. Nothing.
I know nothing. I don't know anything. I'm just waiting on an Uber.
I was. I don't know shit though.
I don't know. Whatever the move is after this, I don't know.
Bro, I'm about to just go home and fill back up my cup at this point.
Just go for it. Yeah.
What the hell is that?
Oh my God.
Some wild shit happening down here. Somebody lost a weave. It's in the streets now.
That's my favorite one.
That weave looking like all my women. They for the streets, you know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
Bro, some wild shit.
And then my last interview of the night.
Like Snapchat or something?
Yeah, yeah.
I got
what's the
pizza.
interview?
What type of pizza did you buy, sir?
Chicken bacon.
And did you see what went down earlier? Is that why the cops are here?
No, all I know is that's some police.
And there's a lot of them.
A lot of them.
A lot of purple and pink, or purple and yellow.
I used to work at a prison like 6 months ago.
Really?
Like,
Wow.
everybody's like Hawks, I'm telling you. I done told you. Goddamn.
Everybody wants a pizza.
God damn it.
I just want to use. I want to use the bathroom.
Did you ever get
And
pizza
they're
pizza
all
off him?
closed.
Hey, add me, please add me on Snapchat.
What do you want me to tag you as?
Pizza eating cowboy guy.
So I did add that guy on Snapchat. So I've got a few people like I added. I'm hitting them up when we go back up to Bowling Green. Shout out Lyle. I don't know if he'll ever find this. He might if I post it on my Snapchat and he is interested enough. But
Maybe, yeah.
my guy, pizza eating guy, because before the interview started, he's like, dude, everybody keeps trying to grab my pizza. And so then someone mid-interview tried to grab a piece. He's like, hey, no.
There's like hawks over here.
And so my Uber was like 30 minutes away at this point. And I was like, I just got it. Like, and then I found a dumpster to pee beside because like everything was closed. It was all closed. So I had to pee like in a dumpster, not in it, but like beside it.
I got a question for you. That just reminded me.
Yeah.
Sorry, this is like not related. Anyway, so if you had your own house, okay, like
This is like so random from what he was just talking about.
Hold on, we'll get there. Let's say you built a house, okay, it's out in the boonies. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Try and tell me you ain't gonna walk outside and take a piss one day, like just out in your yard.
I am.
Thank you. I said that the other day, and somebody said, "You can't just do that."
Why?
I said, "Who's
Yes, you
gonna
can.
stop me?"
You literally, I've done that in everybody's yard. Almost.
I said, "You think at my own house, like I built it, okay? It's out in the boonies. It don't even have to be in the boonies, okay? I just need to close the blinds if I'm in town. But you think I'll not walk around that joint naked
Yeah.
and just do daily activities?
Yeah. No, I would definitely. But so anyway, I
Don't even give me that look. Act like you wouldn't do that."
I would if I could. I just gotta go pee now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, go pee. Go pee.
Okay, I thought you'd give me that look like I ain't gonna do it. And I was like, "You're a liar."
Oh, and you guys can't really see it, but we got a new poster up on the wall behind us. Dalton brought me that. Shout out Dalton Wiggins. It's my dude. Pretty dope. It's a bull and a bear battling over the stock market. Hell yeah.
Man, that's some dumb
Johnny's
shit.
calling me now. I'm busy, boys. I'm busy. Talking about my BGSU experience. But no, so that was pretty much my night. My Uber guy was cool. I was talking. I was like, yeah, I own like a business. Like he was asking me all these questions and stuff. I was like, oh yeah. I was like,
Dude, ours didn't talk to us at all.
really?
Yeah, not a word.
My guy was so he Ubered. The only reason he was around to get me, he was the only Uber. The only reason he was there was, he Ubered someone from Columbus to Detroit.
Oh my gosh.
Why? Just get a
Dude.
friend to take you.
Yeah.
We looked. It was like a $500 Uber. Like if you wanted a Columbus to Detroit Uber.
Oh my gosh.
And so he was like, yeah. So I had to drive someone up there, and he's like, and I was just taking like getting rides on my way back down to Columbus. He's like, then yours popped up. I'm like, well, I'm glad. I'm like,
dude,
I
think of
wasn't
how
gonna
much
make it
that guy
back.
probably made.
Enough. Yeah. for sure.
Oh my!
But I was like, man, you Ubered someone from Columbus to Detroit. Like,
so wait, does he get to take like bathroom breaks and shit?
He can stop whenever he wants.
Oh, he can. Okay.
Mhm.
I was like, how does that work? Like, do you get to take a stop?
Mm-hmm. You can just pick the rides you want. So, like,
Well, I
when
mean,
you're done
like,
with the ride.
Him doing the one to Detroit,
I'm
right?
sure. I'm sure.
Say he needs to get gas partway through,
Yeah.
so he can like stop and like.
I
Does he have
would
to like press something to?
No, I'm sure they're fine with that. I wouldn't know. I've never taken an Uber that far.
Me neither. I mean,
don't-
I've taken 3 Ubers my entire life.
Ugh.
One was in BG.
Yeah, I love Uber. I just like talking to the people if they want to, and then if they don't, like the first guy we had, I'm like, like it's fine.
Dude, we had one in Miami when we were getting ready to go on that cruise. So it was only taking us from like the airport back to like where our hotel was. And it was like some, I don't know, Cuban, Mexican guy, whatever
Yeah.
it was, only spoke Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
And dude,
You'll
he
have
is,
those down there.
he like asked us right off the bat, like we thought he was on like coke or something because he is way too energetic for like 8 o'clock in the morning. He's like, "Hey, you guys care if I sing?" And we were like,
No.
"Man, it's literally like 6 people in the car with him." And he was like, "Okay." He turns the music up, and it is full Spanish, and he is just like going off on this song.
You guys your Uber was Pitbull, and you guys didn't know it.
No, this guy wasn't bold. It's Pitbull in disguise. It was Shaq. It was really Shaq.
But yeah, so man, Miami Ubers are all Spanish. We took one from the casino back to where we were staying, and he like was on the phone the whole time with somebody, like just like talk like in Spanish the whole time. It was very cultural, very culturally awakening for someone from Guernsey County.
What do you think? Like the word casino comes from? You think that's like a Spanish
Is
word?
it Indian
Casino.
or is it Indian or is it Spanish?
I don't know.
It's one of those for sure.
I'm curious.
I mean, we do have the internet. Like
It's
a lot of work.
yeah.
So Britt, how was your weekend?
Are you done with your story? I missed that much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean there wasn't that much left.
Yeah, you were near the end of it.
That's not you.
Oh, well, I was just like speaking to the group. I had a good weekend. Little self-care weekend. Bath, face mask, reading, incense, yoga, crystal. Does it get any better than that?
It does. Yeah.
It doesn't. Not to me.
Yeah, it does.
Hey, Britt's going to a baseball game on Friday.
Oh yeah. What baseball game?
Beats me.
Indians and something. I don't know.
Oh, pro. Okay.
Yeah, with Tom Hanks will be there. So
Oh, that's cool.
we're going up watching the Guardians.
Probably the
Sorry.
Phillies. I feel like.
Are they the Guardians now?
Yeah,
That is so dumb.
I know. It's the Indians. It's always the Indians. Anyway, we're going to that this weekend, and I got to take pictures of the Easter Bunny on Saturday. Be lit.
Sick.
Then we got to film Saturdays for the girls on Saturday. We didn't get to put this week's up because they were all hammered. And they were like, "Can you cut this?" I'm like, "No." I'm like, "I'm not cutting all that shit."
No.
Are you kidding me? I'm like, "Just do another one." I was like, "That's the beauty of the podcast." I'm like, "Don't say it if you don't want it out there," because
true.
most of the time I'm not gonna like unless it's one cut. I'm not cutting. That takes way too much time. Like to sit there for an hour and listen, and then cut and then start listening. Too much work. I'm like, we'll get it figured out. I'm like, but you guys, you can't be cutting every week. Like you gotta. And it was funny. I guess Johnny, like he even like how Johnny is. He's like, dude, you need to cut this part. I'm like, what? He's
That
like,
bad.
He was like, yeah, we can't have it. He
Oh,
like,
dude, I gotta see this
I
uncensored
know.
version.
I haven't looked.
Oh,
I haven't
my.
even looked at it yet.
Oh.
But
Dude,
I was
I
like,
also want to listen now.
yeah, so I was like, okay. I was like, all right. But they're going to reshoot. That's why there was no Saturdays for the girls this week. But I'm going to also be here. Or Britt, can you be here?
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really have a choice. It depends. Are you my boss or my friend right now telling me
Both.
that?
But also, you're just better at the controls than like anyone. So,
Thank you.
like, we need you.
Amazing.
They were even complaining. They were like, Johnny didn't ever switch cameras.
No, he gets too into the
I
conversation.
know.
He can't do both.
Yeah, so we need someone here that can switch roles and do the cameras and everything.
Switch roles.
But that was our there wasn't much else that week, and we got Duncan in the
Yeah.
morning.
Dude, we got the smallest little egg sandwiches in the world.
It was called like an egg wrap, and it was like this big.
The wake up
Literal-
wrap, wasn't
not
it?
even that big, like this big.
Yeah,
like it was
we
one
ordered 2. They came in the same bag. Like that's how small they were. I thought they only gave us 1. And then what?
Wow.
You better check for oil stains, bud. I'm telling you.
But yeah, like small, like literally this big. It was like 2 bites. But yeah, that was our Bowling Green weekend.
Yeah.
Then we came home. Did that drive?
I,
Mind-boggling.
you're telling me. Dude, we stopped and we saw her parents like on the way through.
Yeah.
And I even thought still from like there to back. And we had like a 3-hour break of being over at her parents' house.
I went
I still
to
thought it was
Columbus for the whole day. I was like, this is going to make the trip way better.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't.
No.
It
it's
was
still
about
awful.
9 p.m. on Sunday. And it was just from Columbus to Cambridge. And I got like past Norwich. And I was like, I'm dead.
I told her just on the ride up, I was like, you know, if I ever had to make a trip like this, like again,
and Stimmer does it all the time. I'm like, how do you just do that?
Yeah.
Like,
I said, I better be moving. Like, I better have the rest of my shit with me so I don't have to do another trip.
I'll fly up there again. I will not. I will not.
I'll get somebody to just bring whatever shit I really needed.
That was horrible. That ride is just, it made me want to end my life. Like, it was that bad.
Oh my gosh.
It did. I really did. I was there for a minute. I was like oncoming traffic, but I didn't. I'm still here. So thankfully. And I bought this sick Nike. Oh my gosh. I went to Penn's Mechanical. I wore this because I went and bought it. And this like really hot, like MILF came up to me and she's like, oh, you wore your bowling shirt to the bowling alley. And I was like, yep. I was like, I didn't. I definitely thought this was just a dope ass shirt, but thanks. Yeah. Like, and then I saw her later and she was like with some really hot dude. And I was like, dang. But it is what it is. That was my Polaris on a Sunday is or not Easton. Popping. Absolutely popping. Like we went and ate like twice. We did Cheesecake Factory. We did some other fancy like steak place. I was stuffed. I didn't eat like anything yesterday. I was like, you ate enough. But it's just a popping little spot for a Sunday. It's cool because on like a Saturday when you're Easton, you're like, all right, everybody's getting lit. Like it's Easton. There's this expectation to go out and get like lit or like have like a bunch of drinks. Sunday, everyone just brings their family. You know, it's like bring the kids out, go have a good time. There's like little birthday parties going on. It's a much more tame version, but it's like there's nowhere to park still. You just go and walk around. It's a cool little time. But yeah, so that was our Bowling Green experience. We hope you enjoyed that. We need to do that again. Maybe not bowling. We need to do that style of entertainment.
I'm telling
again.
you, OU.
Oh yeah,
We got to do it soon though, because like this time
We're getting
next
old.
year,
We're getting
this time
old.
next year, I'm not gonna do it. Like I'll be like, hey, listen, we'll start at one bar and I'll meet you back at wherever we're staying.
Almost past the college party stage of our lives.
I'm pretty much already past it.
Yeah. I never had one. Like I went to college for a little bit. I never got to do it. So I'm like a little behind on the times, but I'm still young enough to do it where it's not quite weird yet. But it's getting to that point. Like it's getting to where you're like,
You keep going over to the locker room. That's what I'm saying. Like that's a little weird.
I didn't go there that night.
No.
So we ended up just staying in Cambridge because I was like, And it was a Thursday. I was like, there's not gonna be anybody here. Like, so we ended up not going to the locker room that night. But
Hey, next thing we had to look forward to is, them little kid parties when all our friends have kids, and we're like, hey, we're gonna go sneak shots in the back room. Who's coming? You gotta come back out and like sober yourself up while like a 5-year-old's running around.
Bitch at some kid that's picking his nose. You're like, stop doing that right now. I'm gonna tell your dad. But no,
You're talking to not the mascot, the worker that's like in costume. It's
You're like,
SpongeBob
"Hey,
or
man,
something.
I'm sorry. No, we're close. We've got about a year left, and so we gotta do that a few more times so we have something to talk about. But I think we'll figure it out. We'll have some note. We do need to do OU though. We should do one a month. That would be interesting.
That would kill Trevor.
I
Just from the
Trevor
look on his
Oh
face.
my god!
There's like, hold up.
No. Dude.
Okay, one a month through the summer. There wouldn't really be anyone there though.
Dude, we already hit my maximum for like the amount of times I want to drink for the next like 2 months probably.
That's funny. No, OU would be. Do you know anyone that goes there? I don't know.
Probably.
I mean, I'm sure I do, but
I'd have to really think about it.
I'd have to think. But we could figure it out. Like, we
sure.
could figure OU out. Maybe I have to film something down there on April 22nd. Oh no, I have a wedding the 23rd. We couldn't do it. Never mind.
I mean, I got a track meet on the 22nd anyway.
Yeah.
Or no, I got class 22nd.
Yeah. So we'll figure a weekend. Maybe it'll be May. Maybe do something in May before everyone graduates. But I think they have a mom's weekend coming up, or like a spring
at
weekend.
OU, they already had Mom's Weekend.
Oh, that was
last
recent,
weekend.
wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the same.
That was Mom's Weekend at Bowling Green too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw. I wish Mom's Weekend at OU would be lit. There's some hot moms, I tell you. Hot moms. I saw some on Instagram.
I'm good.
Well, I know you're
I'll go a
good.
different
You're
weekend.
good. But big thing. I got to bring my shades. Got to remember to bring the shades.
Yeah.
But
That's exactly what moms who have college students are thinking. Where's
they're
the kid with the shades?
Dude, they know. They know. They're like, that guy's got confidence. Like,
I would probably look at you and be like, what the fuck's he wearing shades for?
and her daughter's like,
You're inside.
It's cool, Mom.
It's not
shut
that
up.
bright.
Shut up, Mom.
Or I'd think like he's high as shit right now.
Yeah.
He's just-
One of the two. One of the two. But no, thanks for watching. If you want to come back and see this again, OTR Cast on YouTube, OTR Cast on Spotify. I realized we weren't actually on Apple Podcasts till this week. We are now, though. So congratulations, we're on Apple Podcasts now. You can find us there. You can find us on Anchor if that's like if you want to listen to a podcast, you don't have Spotify or Apple Music for some reason. Or go to Facebook. You can see everything we post there. That's where you get the pictures, the clips, all that kind of stuff. And Instagram, otr.pod. That's where all the clips are. You can find those there. You can find us there. You can message us. We need people to come on this podcast. I know we're small right now. We keep getting blown off. It's cool. But one day you're going to regret it.
Yep.
So if you want to come on the podcast while we're still young, and then you can be like, I knew them before they were cool.
While we're young and wild and free.
We're going to go and get pussy.
Sure.
Yep.
I'm going to go home and eat. Honestly, I'm
I need
so
to. I'm going to
hungry
the
right now.
gym. Actually,
Yeah, I'm going
That's
too.
where I'm headed. So yeah. So see y'all later.
But all right. Britt, you want to sign us out? Oh.
Rock Chalk Jayhawk, Natty Champs, baby.
You got to get in. You got to get into it.
Ow! This is probably one of my favorite podcasts so far. It's very funny.